So you work in Twin Falls from 99 to 2002, but you end up going to Boise PD. Why?
So, it was one of those deals. I'd gotten married when I was down at Twin Falls PD, and my wife was pregnant with a baby, and so I started really your outlook on, okay, what do I want out of my career and my life, right? Starts to shift a little bit, and I went, where's going to be the best opportunities for my kids to raise a family? Twin Falls is a great place, and I absolutely love Twin Falls and have a very soft spot in my heart for the Twin Falls Police Department. But when I really started looking at where do I want to raise my family, there were a few things I wanted. One was I wanted to be close to other family. I knew my oldest brother was with Boise PD at the time. Ked was with the state police. He had just gotten promoted from the Burley area up to Lewiston, but Ked had said, and he made it known, he wanted to continue promoting. Well, all promotions with ISP end in the Boise Valley. That's just, if you're going to continue moving up, that's where you're going to end up. And so I knew Ked was likely going to end up here. And again, my folks are halfway between Twin Falls and Boise, so it really didn't matter whether I was Twin or Boise. I'm pretty close to the same distance from them. So when I looked at opportunities for education, opportunities for athletics and extracurricular stuff that I wanted my kids involved in, and then just being close to family, Boise was much more the draw than Twin Falls was. So that's when I applied with Boise PD.
So as a lateral transfer, you're coming to Boise and you begin with Boise, and obviously you're a motorcycle cop. Do you immediately start as a motorcycle cop?
Nope. So Boise PD, when you first get hired, whether you're a lateral or a new officer, you start in patrol. So everybody starts in patrol. And then once the openings start opening, then you can start testing into those once you're off probation. And so, no, I started in patrol with the Boise Police Department. And Boise did the same thing. I had to go through an even third, if you will, academy. Boise required at the time everybody to go through their academy. So it was kind of a weird mix because there was me and then two other experienced officers, one from Idaho Falls and one from Twin Falls County Sheriff's Office. And then you get put with a group of people who had just graduated from the post academy. So you have the three of us with prior experience mixed with a group of folks, and there was only three that had no experience at all and were coming brand new into the profession. And then you went through an academy together. And so it kind of helped you build a little bit of camaraderie with the six of you so that you felt like you had other people that are kind of going through what you're going through as you get hired there. But then, no, we all start out in patrol.
Tell me the difference between now you've gone from Glens Ferry, super small, Twin Falls, fairly small, and now I don't want to say it's a large city, but it's much larger than Twin. So tell me the difference in policing between the two cities.
Very, very different. In Twin, we were still small enough that when you investigated a crime, now there was a detective division in Twin Falls, so if it was something that was going to get into investigations, obviously the detectives would handle the investigation. But if it was just a smaller scale misdemeanor type crime or any kind of a traffic hit and run, DUI, any of that kind of stuff, you caught it, you cleaned it, was kind of our mentality was. When I got to Boise, it really shifted because Boise's big enough and so specialized out that everybody has their specialty. So the weird adaptation for me to Boise PD, the first thing I noticed was when I would respond to a call for service, I would take the report and then that would be the end of it for me. I'd take a report and I'd forward it on for somebody else to follow up on. And so it was really a mind shift for me that I felt like, man, I don't know if I'm helping these people because I'm passing it off onto somebody else, when in reality, they're actually getting better help because the person who I'm handing it off to has specialized, unique experience in just that investigation. So then they can follow up and handle everything. And then just the resource availability at Boise PD was outstanding. Unbelievable, the amount of resources you have. For example, if you come across somebody on a traffic stop that's identified as a gang member, well, we have a gang unit that you would forward that information to, and then they're following up on that lead of, okay, who is this person? What was their interaction with the police? Do we, can we contact them? Can we reach out to them? Is there something, are they a possible suspect in something else that matches, whatever? And so you get a lot, the community gets a better service just because there's so many more resources available to help the community. Probably the biggest thing I noticed was here when I came to Boise PD, we had what are called neighborhood community officers, and we still have those NCOs. And what they do is when you had a problem, if you had a conflict between two neighbors, down in Twin, you just try to work it out as best you could as a patrol officer responding to the call. Here, you'd take the report of whatever the conflict is. Maybe one had damaged the other one's fence or was screaming at them or their music's too loud or whatever it is. You'd take that report and then you would forward that to the NCOs. Then an NCO would contact both of them and mediate the situation. So truly, both parties are getting a better service than just an officer who's here to take a report and move on, and I don't care what happens between you and your neighbor. So that's where I noticed a huge difference was with our NCO program because, man, they got so much better attention and so much more personalized service, if you will.
That's you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you work on the community policing team?
Nope, I never did.
Okay.
I did start when I very first got out of patrol here. I started so our NCOs were actually paired with what we called NTOs, which were neighborhood traffic officers. And so those were officers in traffic unit that would handle just the traffic complaints for their little area. And that's where I did start in traffic with Boise PD, was in the NTO unit. And it was a very unique assignment because you're not out looking for traffic violations. You're out handling traffic complaints in neighborhoods. And so it was a super unique perspective on traffic because you may sit in a neighborhood and you're not going to write one ticket. You may only make one traffic stop, but man, the neighbors are as happy as can be because they have this officer running radar in their neighborhood, and perception is that they're slowing people down, so they're content. And so that was the specializing of Boise that I really, really appreciated and I really liked, was so specialized and just drilled right down into what the community wanted and needed.